Welcome everyone, this is Kevin LaRocca. I am the founder of Binary Pro Strategies, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the fundamentals of what I use in order to make my trades. But before we get started, we have to get through the legal stuff here. So keep in mind that this is for educational purposes only. Obviously trading can be risky, and I am not an advisor. I am not a financial planner. I'm here only to educate you in the ways that I trade binary options. So please take the moment to look over and read this disclaimer. If you need to pause, please do so, and then we'll get started. Okay, so before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Kevin LaRocca. I am the founder of Binary Pro Strategies. The reason I want you to see my bio is I've been doing this for a long time. I've been trading for over 35 years. I'm not somebody that just started trading over the last few years. A lot of people say they're good traders. A lot of people say they have the secret or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is it takes a long time to learn how to trade and trade profitably. And I certainly not only have I been trading for over 35 years, but I have real trades to show that my strategies work. I have proven myself publicly that what I do have and what I do teach does work, as you can see from my bio. And I also want you to know that trading is so much of a mental game. And I can condense this. I'm going to condense everything that I've learned over the last 35 years into a tradable approach for binary options, which I think are probably the best instrument that I've ever seen. But also, I'm going to teach you the mental strategies, what it takes in order to be a successful trader, because that's a big part of it. So nonetheless, please take time, just look over my bio, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get started here. Okay, once again, this is going to be the fundamental video. What I'm going to be going through here is the exact strategy that I use in order to select and make my trades in trading 5-minute Forex binary options. If you've been watching any of my videos on YouTube, you see that I have a lot of great success. My goal is to try to make money every day. I usually do. But you can watch my videos and see that as well. But this is what I call the core strategies. There are a few things that are too long to go into, so they're not included in this particular fundamental video. But if you do become a subscriber, I go into each aspect a lot more in detail with some videos as I walk you through exactly how each of the components work. Also, if you do decide to become a subscriber, you'll be with me as I share my charts live every day, and I will be calling out my trades, not so you can follow my trades. My goal is to teach you how to see the market as I see it and to make the trades as I make the trades and let you learn to do this on yourself. I'm not looking for people to be dependent on me on how to trade. I am not a signal service. I am an educational service. So my goal is to educate you how to be a successful trader, whether you want to do this for a living or you want to do it as a hobby. That's certainly up to you, but I'm here to teach you and show you exactly how to do it. So nonetheless, the first thing we want to do is we're going to start from trading up setting up the Nadex platform. This is really important. The assumption is you already know a little bit about how Nadex works. If not, please go to nadex.com. They do have some really good videos there on exactly how to trade binary options. So my goal is not to go through all the small detail on how to trade binary options. So learn that first, and then we'll walk you through on exactly how to set up your platform. And the reason I'm walking you through this is because the key with trading is you want to get out as many distractions as you possibly can. That's number one. And number two, you don't want to have to make a lot of decisions when it comes time to trading. Okay, so you want to get rid of distractions. And two, the less decisions that you have to make a trade, the more successful you're going to be. If you have too many indicators, and I see these guys, they have all these moving averages and stochastics and Bollinger Bands and all kinds of crazy things and Fibonacci retracements and all this stuff. It's too much information. You're not going to be a long-term successful trader doing that because there's just way too much information. And besides, I'm not a believer in any of those indicators because by the very nature of the way they're designed, they are lagging indicators. And we're trading binary options here. All that really matters is what the market is doing right now and where it's going. I don't care what it did, 5 days ago, or it's coming up on a resistance level or a support level. It doesn't matter. I've got 5 minutes. I'm only looking for a 5-minute trend. So the most important information is what is it doing right now in the market and where's it going to go over the next 5 minutes. That's all I care about because that's the way I trade and that's the way you make money with Nadex is you get in and you get out and your trades only last, 4 or 5 minutes or so. So nonetheless, let me get over here and let's look at what you're going to see when you first get into your Nadex platform. Also, I suggest that if you're new to this, get a demo account. Doesn't cost you anything. They're going to give you $25,000 to play money. And what I suggest everybody do is you learn these strategies and you trade that demo account. And when you can be successful trading on a daily basis and go for a small objective, $50 a day, if you can do that successfully for a month, then you can look at possibly putting your own money on the line. Okay, but practice in the demo account, get disciplined, go for an objective, and get to know just basically make this an automatic reflex. You see the signal, everything lines up, you make your trade, and that's the way you go. Okay, that's the way to go. So let me just jump over here and show you how to set up the Nadex platform and what you're going to see when you first set up a demo account. Okay, so this is basically what you're going to see when you first set up your demo account. And so let's clean this up and let's make it easy, and then we can start getting into the actual strategies, okay? But the first thing is we want to just make this as simple as possible. So you're going to get this little welcome screen. It's going to let you know, any kind of rollovers, maybe if there's any kind of news coming out or whatever. And I just click on that and get that out of the way. So this is the important part. We have a lot of information here. All I'm interested in is the 5-minute binaries, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up this chart a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is we have a watch list, and this is basically if you're watching more than several pairs. I usually don't do that. I mean, at least I don't do it here when I'm looking to make a trade. I usually pull up one pair at a time. So anyway, what I want to do is I'm going to click on this little watch list up here a couple times. It's going to get rid of it. And it's going to have a window that says markets. So I'm going to move that up a little bit. We have open positions. Okay, that's when I actually get into a trade. It's going to show the trades I'm actually in. And working orders. That means I put an order in and I'm waiting for it to get filled. In other words, I'm waiting to get into a particular binary option. Okay, so next thing I do comes over here, debit card, deposit, whatever. If you need to put money in your account, you can do that. Anyway, I just get that out of the way. It's just a distraction. Okay, and the next thing I do is market filters. Never use market filters. So I click on market filters. I click on the X, get rid of it, and I have my finders. So I just move that up. Finders are going to be all the available binary options. Once again, all I'm interested in right now is 5-minute binaries. Okay, so before we even get into that, let's go over here to my account. We're going to click on my account, and we want to go into settings. So we're going to click on settings, and we're going to click on preferences. Okay, so a couple things. We want the flashing to be off. It flashes new highs, new lows, just a distraction. Don't really need it. I turn that off. My default order type is limit orders. That means that I don't want to go market. In other words, whatever the price is at right now, it would fill me. Well, there's a spread here between the bid and the ask, so it's important that we limit our orders. In other words, I want to pay a certain price for the particular strike that I'm looking to enter, or the particular binary option I'm looking to enter. And so if I don't get my price, I don't trade. So this is real important. So make sure you have limit GTC. That means good till cancel. Okay. Default order size, bring that down to 1. Always start with 1 until you really learn how to do this. Then you can always increase your size as your account grows. So let's keep that to a 1. Let's scroll down here. And market order price tolerance. This is if you're doing market orders. Basically, it gives you a tolerance. So in other words, if I said I want to sell something at 75, it means that I can put this here at a 5. That means I get no more than 80 and no less than, say, 70, or whatever the case may be. But I just bump these up. I don't really use it. I just bump them up. Okay. And then I want to allow multiple ticket panels. That means I can show a couple tickets at the same time. Don't really use that. Sometimes I will if I'm trading 2 pairs at the same time, but that's pretty rare. But have that checked nonetheless. And then, of course, the session and activity, keep that on as long as you can. I put 12 hours, and I set my preferences. Okay, so set your preferences. Get out of this. Okay, now we're going to come back. And here's the 5-minute binaries. So what I'll do here is I'll click on the 5-minute binaries. And it's Forex right now. All they have is Forex 5-minute binaries. These are the currency pairs. Okay. And these are the pairs that I trade. Okay, so let's say, for instance, that I am watching the US Japanese yen. Okay, what I'll do is I'll click on the US Japanese yen, and it shows all my strike prices here. Okay. And or it will show it in this window. Let me go ahead and switch over to here to show you that. Okay, so here we go. This is really what it should look like. When you click on it, it should show the particular pair that you're trading at the moment. So if I clicked on euros, it's going to show here. If I want to do the pound, it's going to show there. And this is a screen that I'm watching here. Once again, you should be familiar with all that, but what I do is I even minimize some of this additional information. So what I'll do here is I will just scroll over here to the right. A little pull down window that says display. Okay, so I click on display, and I will start getting rid of things that I really don't need. I don't care about the bid size. I don't care about the offer size. Okay, I don't care about the expiry. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So I will come over here, and now you see you have a little bit of information. You have your charts. If you want to click on a chart, you can see the chart. This is a truly indicative chart here. You got your time left. You have your bid and your offer. And so, for instance, if I'm going to try to sell something, they're always going to give me whatever the bid is. If I try to buy something, they're always going to give me whatever the offer is. Okay, so that's real important, and that's why I priced my orders in. You can see that's quite a bit of spread here. So that's why it's so important you price your orders in. And it also helps manage money, and we'll talk about that later. But anyhow, and this is the indicative price. So you'll see that they have what they call almost like these micro pips. So in other words, the pound right now is 28.49. Okay, and in the real market, you're going to see that. But you see these micro pips, you're going to have 28.43.3. Okay, or it could come up here and could be 28.49.3 or 0.2 or whatever. So when you're trading, it's always important to keep the indicative price in mind whenever you're looking to execute an order. Now, I do use Thinkorswim as my platform, which you'll see here shortly. And so even though a pattern may develop, I always still look at the indicative price, because the indicative many times will be different than the actual price of the Forex pair, because of the way that they do their the way they've set up. I think they do like an average or something like that, and so they're not always a one-to-one correlation, but that's really not important because if I see a pattern develop on the Forex charts, it's going to follow through on my binary as well. But do keep in mind the indicative price. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's move on. Okay, so let's start getting into the charts and so forth. And one of the things you're going to see when you first come into Zoom, if you decide you want to become a subscriber, is I'm going to share my charts, and you'll see that here shortly. But one of the things that I do is, until you learn how to use a couple of the unique indicators that we use, one is called the pairing pattern. We also use some correlation studies. But one of the things I do in order to make it easier for my subscriber is I give you the direction. I will show you the direction that I see the market getting ready to go in, and that's very important. So in other words, if the market is trending up, in other words, if the market is going up, of course, I'm only going to be looking to buy a binary option. And if the market is trending down, I only want to be looking to sell a binary option. Now, it's just as easy to sell as it is to buy. Okay, so don't have to worry about shares, whether there's shares available to sell it or whatever that. I mean, you just kind of want to get all that out of your mind, because all we really care about in binary options is where is the market going right now? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down from this particular point in time? That's all that matters. And I can easily make the same amount of money going up as I can make going down. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do when you come in is you're going to see my charts. And this is just an example. Now, the real charts, it looks like this. Okay, I have all my currency pairs. I'll explain all this, but I have my different currency pairs, and I'll put my arrows on here to indicate where I see prices going. Okay, so for instance, and of course, this is my trend indicator. I think it's probably the best indicator, and it's a very unique pattern. I call it the pairing pattern, which once again, as a subscriber, I go into more details on exactly how it works. And I'll show you a little bit how powerful it is in just a minute here. But the thing is that I use it as a trend indicator. But you can use any trend indicator that you want. You don't have to use my trend indicator. If you have a good trend indicator and it's pretty accurate on a short-term time frame, then certainly you can use that. But for those that may not have that, or may not be able to really identify which way the trend is going, whether it should be a buyer or seller, I'm going to put these arrows on the chart to help you out. It's just a tool that I'm going to use to kind of give you an idea which way you should be looking when you actually get into a trade. So obviously, if the trend is going up, which this is, you're going to see a green arrow, okay? And if you see a green and a black arrow like this, or you see a red and a black arrow like this, all that means is I see the market going up, but if you see the black arrow next to it, it means caution, because the trend could be changing to go down. So I don't like to trade when I have a green and a black arrow. Now, obviously, I don't have to put my little black arrow up there because I know that, but this is to help you out. So if you're on the chart and you say, hey, it looks like the market wants to go down. I know Ken wants to be a seller. Oh, but I see that little black arrow. That means he's pretty cautious. Probably not going to be selling right now, because the market could be flipping and getting ready to go in the other direction. So nonetheless, you'll see that on the charts once you come in. Okay. Now, I talked a little bit about the pairing pattern, and I want to show you just how powerful this is and why this is so important. Okay. Basically, what the pairing pattern does, it's a predictor. It predicts the next bar, which way it's going to go from its opening price. Now, if you're familiar with candlestick charts, and let me go back here and show you a candlestick chart. This is a candlestick chart. Basically, what this shows is a green bar means for that 5-minute time frame, it opened there and it closed right there. That body, that's a green body. This is actual high of where it went over that 5-minute time period. Where this right here, this actually went this far down actually went that far up, but it opened here and it closed right here. So this is an open to close relationship. Okay, where this is the high, this bar right here, this is the high of those 5 minutes. This is the low of the 5 minutes, but the 5 minutes had actually opened up here, and when that 5 minutes was done, it closed down there. Okay, so green means it's going up, red means it's going down. Okay, so why is this important? Well, obviously, if I want to be a buyer, then I'd like to know whether this coming bar coming up here, okay, after this 5 minutes, because I don't know what's going to happen here, but I have a pretty good probability I know that this next bar, whether it's going to be a green bar or another red bar. So if I know with a high probability it's going to be another red bar, and my pairing pattern tells me it's going to go down, and I have my other indicators that are saying it's going to go down, I've increased my odds tremendously that when I sell it, I'm going to be profitable. Okay, and just to show you how powerful this is, as this is the predictability of the pairing pattern and telling me whether the next bar is going to be a red bar or a green bar. And this works both on the up and down. So, and you can see it doesn't matter what's a 5 minute, 1 minute. I could even use it on daily if I want to, but I don't. So this is the predictability of the pairing pattern. I know, so if it says that the next bar is going to be a red bar, it's going to be a red bar 78% of the time. Okay, whether it's on a 1 minute or 5 minute chart, and vice versa. If it says the next bar is going to be a green bar, it's going to be a green bar 78% of the time. Sometimes even higher than that. But this is on an average over many, 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 many months of data. So this is an extremely powerful indicator. Okay, so that's pretty much what the pairing pattern is. Once again, I go into more details on my videos that I share with my members, but nonetheless, it's just another indication of which way the trend's going to go. So anyhow, from this point forward, if you have a good trend indicator, then you're still going to be fine as long as you make sure that you're always going in the direction of the trend. Okay, and know what your probabilities are. Not because it's going down. I mean, the market could go down and doesn't really mean it's going down. It could really truly be going up. And just because a moving average or something says that it's going to go down, or hits a Bollinger Band and it says it should come down, it doesn't mean it's going to go down. Okay, those are lagging indicators. So I mean, you got to have something that's more at the present moment, because all that really matters right now is what is it, where's it at right now, where's it going to go over the next 5 minutes. I don't care about where it goes over the next 10, 15 minutes. All I care about is really where it's going over the next 5 minutes, because I'm going to make my money in the next 5 minutes, period. That's the way it works. I get into it, 5 minutes later, either make money or you take a loss. Okay, and that's the way 5 minute binaries work, and that's why I like 5 minute binaries, because I have a ton of opportunities to hit my daily objective. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide here. Okay, so the next thing is getting ready to place our trades. Okay, so have to understand the different types of trade entries, and there's really just 2 types of trade entries that I use. Okay, and let's get into that. Let's start with what I call just entry number 1. Okay, so basically what entry number 1 is that you'll see my arrows, or let's say that, you know, whatever your trend is, let's say the market's going down and you want to be a seller. Okay, so if I'm looking to sell it, okay, what that means is that when this 5 minute bar opens up, remember these are 5 minute increments. Every 5 minutes there's a new pair of strike prices. Okay, so let's say the market opens up and it's going to go, and I'm looking to be a seller, and I'm trading a euro, and the indicative opens at, say, 1.1622.9, okay, or let's just say 1623. Let's just say the indicative opens at 1623. Okay, so Then I see the indicative opening at 1623. Then what I do is I look at the strike prices available. And let me just jump over here and show you an example. Okay, so here's an example of entry number one. Okay, so here we have a set of strikes. He's just started. You can see this set of strikes has 4 minutes, a little bit over 4 minutes before it expires. So in other words, I'm going to either make or lose money within the next 4 minutes. So let's just say that I want to be a seller. And right now, see what the indicative is? It's at 1624.5. Okay? And I want to be a seller. So if I wanted to be a seller, what I would do is I'm going to sell above the indicative. I call it entry number one. So it's at 1624.6. The actual strike price that I have is 1625. These don't have any decimals to it, so it's 25, 27, 29. But if I think it's going down and the market right now at 1624.7, I will try to sell the 1625. Why? That's entry one. That means the strike is above the indicative price at the time of entry. Vice versa, if I thought it was going up, and right now it's at 23, okay, at 23.50, I would try to be buying it. I would try and be buying the 23 because it's below the indicative. Okay, that is entry number one. Entry number two is just the opposite. Okay, if I thought that the market was going to go down right now and it's at 23.80, I would sell it below the indicative. I'd be selling the 23. Okay, or if I thought the market was going to go up, I would be buying the 25 because it's above the indicative. I don't use this order very much. It's also called out of the money because it's not profitable. In other words, if I'm selling at 25, I want this to settle lower than 25 before this expires. When this expires, I want this indicative over here to be less than 1625. So I want it to be like 1625 or 1624.9 or lower for me to make money. And that's just the opposite of when I'm buying as well. I mean, yeah, is when I'm buying. So if I was buying the 25, I wanted to sell at 25.1 or higher. So I don't use entry number two. I always use entry number one unless it's a really strong moving market. Question is, why would I want to use the second entry? Because at the second entry, I'm going to get a better price than I would if I'm buying already in the money. So if you look at the 25.50 right now, you can see if I wanted to sell the 25.50 right now, I'm going to be selling it at 62, which means I'm risking $38 to make $62. But if I think it's really going to go down hard in the next minute and a half, I sell a 63. Look at that. I'm selling it at 92. I'm only risking $8 to make 92. Okay, so, but you can't trade like that. Only in a very strong market can you do that. So most every time you'll see me using entry number one. Okay, so let's get back to our charts here. Okay, and as you can see, we will go to entry number two. It is just the opposite as I just mentioned. If you're buying, you're going to be buying above the strike price or the opening price of that 5-minute bar, and if you're selling it below it. Okay. So the next thing is I want to talk about the 4852 rule, and I want to go over the misconceptions of binary premiums. I want to look at the math, and I want you to see exactly what is the 4852 rule. And this is something you have to live by because this is how you're going to be able to manage your money. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Nadex and kind of how it's designed. Nadex offers many trading products allowing traders to choose from numerous strike levels, a variety of risk versus reward possibilities on Forex, indices, and commodities. Of course, we only trade the Forex. If you were looking for a low risk and a high reward trade that could capitalize off a fast moving market, then there are options on both sides of the market dependent on your directional bias. If you felt the underlying market was going to make a major move to the upside, then one trading choice would be to buy an out-of-the-money binary option at $15. Okay, so remember, you're buying an out-of-the-money binary option at $15. This is entry number 2. So you would be risking $15, but your maximum profit would be $85. So the underlying instrument, or in this case, the end of that 5-minute binary option, should settle above your strike price at the expiration of the option. Now, your maximum profit would be $85. If you're wrong, of course, you only lose $15. Binary option premiums are priced on the probability of it settling in the money at the time it is placed. Okay, so the higher the probability of a strike price settling in your favor, the higher the premium you pay for it, and your risk is higher. So with the above example, when your profit is $85 on the trade, you have only a 15% probability of being correct. So you're risking 15 to make 85, but the probability is you're not going to make money, because the probability is 85% of the time it's not going to settle above your strike price. So if the premium, of course, was $50 at $50 at the time, that means you have a 50% probability of the trade settling in your favor. Now, on the other hand, if you were to buy in the money, of course, this is entry number 1, binary option at 85, your profit would be $15. But your risk is $85. So with an 85% probability that you will win on the trade at the time it is placed. Now, you're probably thinking, well, gosh, I mean, if I got an 80% probability of making money, then I probably want to just make these trades, you know, make $15 trades, just make them a little bit here, a little bit there. Yes, I'm risking $85, but I have an 85% probability of making money. So you will see a lot of traders do that. You will see a lot of quote gurus that promote this. They're buying it for $15 or $10. They're looking to make $10, $15, $20. But gosh, they're risking $80, $85, $90 on their trades. And you're going to see why that is really a long-term, it's a losing strategy. Yes, you're going to have a lot of winning trades, but it doesn't take many to wipe you out. And I'll show you the probabilities here in a minute. So as a rule of thumb, out-of-the-money binary options have cheaper premiums, but less of a probability of expiring at a profit. In the money, binary options have higher premiums, but a greater chance at expiring with a profit. Many inexperienced traders will only trade the binary option strikes with the best probabilities, or in the money options. But when you look at the math, this is a losing strategy if you wish to be profitable over an extended period of time. So when you hear all these gurus and you watch gurus, and most people are always, they get on YouTube and they're looking at how people trade and so forth. Look to see how much they're looking to make on their trades. Are they looking to make $15, $20? Okay, I can tell you for a fact that over a long period of time, they're not going to make money. Okay, because it's just not going to work. Because all it takes is one trade to wipe you out. And so let's take a look at some of the math here, and let's see what's going on. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at the math. Okay, so once again, I'm going to try to make $10. Gosh, I have a 90% probability of making that $10. So I'm going to make 9 trades. I'm going to make $10. Okay, but every trade I make, I'm risking $90. I still have a 90% chance of making $10, but I'm risking $90. So if you average it out over 10 trades, where am I? I'm going to be 0. Okay, because all it takes is one trade to be wrong to knock out all 9 of those winners. Okay. Some people say, I can take that, but you can't take that. And even if you're going to do it for a long period of time, I guarantee you're going to have a couple losers in a row. And how would it feel if you're saying you're making $10 a day and it's 9 days in a row, you're all winners. I mean, man, you're on top of the world. I mean, you figure you got this thing all figured out. And then on day 10, you get it all wiped out. Okay, it's all gone in one day. All that hard work for 9 days is all gone in one day. Psychologically, you're not going to be able to trade like that for an extended period of time. Okay, and it just doesn't work that way. So let's look at $20. Okay, I'm going to go for $20 profit. Once again, now I've got an 80% probability of making money. Once again, what's going to be the end result? It's going to be 0. Okay, so the key here is that you want to be trading. If you're going to be trading, we're not looking at profitability here. Okay, what we want to do is we want to manage this. We want to manage how much we're paying for each one of our strike prices. Okay, now this is assuming these odds hold up. Let's step a little bit further. Let's go to the math at 50%. Okay, now let's assume that I can be 50% accurate on all my trades. Most people say I can be 50%. You flip a coin, you're going to be 50%. So let's start looking at it. If I'm 50%, and once again, I'm coming over here and I am looking to make $10, okay, over 10 trades, I'm still at a negative $400. Same with the 20, same with the 30, same with the 40. But what happens when I start getting up to $50? Now look at me. Now I'm starting to break even. And if I'm going for $60, okay, at 50%, now I'm starting to make money. Okay, you don't need to go that high. But now we're starting to see that even if you're 50% profitable, okay, which most people can be 50% profitable, okay, and if you're not, if you're less than 50% profitable, you need to basically just do the opposite, and you're gonna be over 50%. If that makes sense. But let's carry it a little bit further. Let's say that I know that I can be 60% profitable. Let's say I have a really good indicator like the pairing pattern. Oh my gosh, it's 78% profitable. But let's say I'm only 60% profitable on my trend indicator. Let's see what that does for us. Okay, so now we're at 60% profitable. Now look at it. Once again, $10 losing strategy, $20 losing strategy, $30. Now even at $40, I can at least break even. But look what happens when I'm at 50. Now I'm starting to make money. Okay, so even if I'm risking $50 to make $50, but I'm 60% profitable, I'm going to be $100, and it just goes up from there. Okay, so what is the 48-52 rule? Quite simple. Okay, I will always buy a binary option with a limit. That means, as I explained earlier, good till cancel, order type, at a strike price 48 or less. So if I'm trying to buy a Euro USD, okay, and I'm looking at the bid and the offer, okay, I'm going to be buying the offer, obviously. So if I'm going to be buying that offer, I want to be buying that offer at $48 or less. If I get 30, awesome. If I get 20, awesome. But I'm always going to be buying that option at $48 or less, and I'm using what? Entry number 1 only. So I'm using entry number 1, and I'm trying to buy it at $48 or less. And it's just the opposite when I'm selling it. If I'm selling an option, I'm always going to sell that option with a limit order at a strike price of $52 or more. Okay? And once again, once I get filled, I am in it for until that 5-minute option expires. So all trades are carried to the expiration of the option you are trading. You'll see a lot of people, they're selling option. Let's say they sold it at 52. Oh my God, they make $20, $30. They're getting out. You can't do that. Let me tell you why you can't do that. Because once again, you might as well just be trading for $10 or $20. Because think about it, even if you're only 50% on this rule right here, okay, and the way that Nadex works right now at the time of this video, is that if you have a winning trade, they take $2 out. If you have a losing trade, they take $1 out. So that means if I am wrong, I am wrong $49. But if I am right, I make $50. So at 50% profitable, where am I going to be? I'm going to be $1 ahead. Okay, so that's why this is so important. Okay, you want to stick to the 48.52. So even if you're wrong and you're just 50% probable, let's say you can't be 60 or 70% probable. Let's say you're just 50% probable. You're still going to come out ahead. Okay, not by a lot. You're not going to get rich, but it's better than being in a hole. It's like starting over again. Okay, so that is a key component to trading. Always, always, always follow the 48.52 rule. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about pair correlation. Once again, this is very important to anybody that trades the 5-minute binary options, and you won't see people talking about this. And this won't really make sense unless you're in my chat room live and I can kind of explain how these correlations work. Because basically what you're going to see here is that Nadex has several pairs that you can trade on 5-minute binaries. You have the Aussie USD, you have the Euro USD, the Pound USD, the USD Japanese Yen, the Euro Japanese Yen, the Pound Yen, and the US Canadian Dollar. Okay? These all have correlations. What I mean by that is that if the Aussie and the USD is moving up, then I would also expect the Euro and the USD to move up as well. And what is that correlation? The correlation is 93%. Okay? If I wanted to look at trading the Aussie USD and the Euro USD, those are both up. That means the Euro Yen should be up. See, that has an 83% probability. But look at this. This is interesting. Look at the Yen. The Yen's minus 85% probability. So why is this important when you're trading? Okay, so let's look at it. Let's go back to the basics. Okay, we have a good trend indicator. The market's going up. The pairing pattern says the market's going up. I got a 78% probability that next bar is going to be, say, a green bar. Okay, so my trend indicator's up. Pairing pattern says it's going up. Okay, now I look at the correlation. Okay, and I see that, let's say I see that the Aussie, okay, is down, and I see that the Euro is down. What does that mean for my Yen? It should be the opposite of those two. It means it's going to go up. What happens if the Aussie, the Euro, and the Euro Japanese Yen are down? Even more stronger that the USD Japanese Yen is going to go up. So, throw in all these factors, you are increasing the odds of you being right on any particular trade. I mean, the percentages just kind of go through the roof, okay? Because now we're playing odds and probabilities. This is the key to trading, folks, okay? It's not about moving averages and stochastics. It's not about Bollinger Bands and moving averages and Fibonacci numbers and everything else. This is a probability game, okay? Like I showed you, the 48-52 rule, okay? Even if you're right 50% of the time, I'm showing you how to make money. Now I'm showing you how to increase your odds of making it profitable more than 50%, okay? And the higher we go, as I showed earlier, the more money you start making, okay? So let's go back to the math one more time and see that if I am at least 60% and I'm trading, I want to make at least $50, okay, I'm going to make $100 after 10 trades. And if it's 70%, it goes up even more. And remember, this is on a one lot or one contract basis. If you're trading 5s and 10s, you're looking at $250 to $500 and up, okay, on just one single trade within a 5-minute time frame. I mean, this is by far the best way to trade. And binary options, unlike anything else, is it's to me, it gives you the biggest advantage. And why? Because whether you're trading stocks, trading commodities, the one thing that you know when you trade a binary option, you know exactly how much your profit's going to be at the end of that 5 minutes. And you also know what your maximum loss is going to be at the end of that 5 minutes. You cannot do that with stocks. You cannot do that with commodities because of what they call a fast-moving market and can create slippage. So you may be trying to make $1,000 and you may want to risk $1,000, but you know what? That $1,000 can turn into a $2,000 loss because of slippage. You never see slippage in binary options. Everything is locked in. You have a maximum loss, you have a maximum potential profit, and that's the way you manage your money. If you want to try to do it in stocks, it's almost impossible, because the thing you don't know is you never know whether, if you're long a stock, whether you're going to be able to make that $1,000 or not before it hits your $1,000 loss. Okay, where with this, in 5 minutes, I either made my money or I lost my money, and I know exactly how much it's going to be. And by knowing that and knowing the probabilities, I can manage my money to make sure that when I'm trading, and I'm trading over a long period of time, I'm going to come out ahead. Can't do that with any other instrument that I'm aware of, and I've traded everything, folks. So, okay, so let's get back to the next step. We know about the correlations, very important. How to set daily objectives. Folks, when you're trading, you should always have an objective of $50 a day. Why 50? Because we trade the 48-52 rule. So, if I'm right, what do I make? 50 bucks, okay? Take out $2, I make $50. This should be your objective when you first start off trading. Once again, don't trade live until you get this thing down. Trade in a demo account. The objective is to make $50 a day, every day for 30 days before you put real money into it. Okay, that's what I suggest. And so you want to go with a $50 objective. You make your $50, you're out. You come back the next day. And that's also important for another reason. And I talked earlier about the psychology of trading. You want to eliminate as many distractions as possible. The one thing about trading is you can really just get glued to the charts. And the longer you're in the market, the more you start to see things that aren't there. Okay, so you want to cut down all distractions. You don't want to listen to fundamental news. You don't want to listen to a new report coming out. You don't want to listen to what any guru's saying. All you want to do is look at these charts. Turn off your radio, turn off your newscasts, turn off CNBC. It doesn't really matter, because all we're caring about is where it's going to go over the next 5 minutes. Okay, it's real simple. The other thing is, the less time in the market, the less stress you have. So you make your 50, you're done for the day, you walk away. Most trades, I can do what I have a once and done. That means I hit it, I make my objective on the first trade, I'm done for the day. And that's the best way to trade, folks. Not sitting in front of the screen all day and trading. Okay, now when you come into my live Zoom meeting where I share my charts, yeah, I'll be there in the morning, because I want to teach you folks how to see all these setups and identify the correct ones. And I'll be there to help you along the way. But when you get this down and you're doing it yourself, make your 50, step away, shut down your computer, go outside, go golfing, do whatever you want to do, but stop trading. Go for an objective and stop trading. You're going to see that I do that. And if you watch any of my videos on YouTube, you'll see that, man, once I hit an objective, I am out of there. Okay?
Okay, so if you're interested in learning exactly how I do this, I do offer 2 different packages. And the way this is set up is that if you want to learn about the core strategy package, now that isn't going to include all the videos. You're going to get full access to all my training videos and educational material. You're going to get full disclosure of the core strategy, which I use a lot, particularly the single and double continuation patterns. The majority of all the results that you see on my daily returns is going to be based off of those 2 patterns, okay? I also do trade the delta pattern, and I also will show you how to use the nibble strategy. The nibble strategy is designed to catch very short-term trades, and I'll show you exactly how to use that in combination with some of the other core patterns. Also, how to transition from demo to a live account. This is very important. That video is also included. As you know, it's also available on YouTube for free. But how to transition from a demo to a live account is very important. Something you need to watch. Don't just jump in and start trading in a live account. You want to learn the strategy and you want to make sure that you're profitable, I'd say at least 9 out of every 10 days. And then when you get ready to transition to a live account, please watch the video, because there's some really good steps on how to make that transition. Also, when you purchase the package, you're going to get a 1 hour personal training with me. So you and I will do a one-on-one, and I'll make sure that you fully understand everything and how it works. Now, this package is designed to pretty much purchase and go if you'd wish. You can purchase, watch everything, and go out and trade on your own. Now, if you want to learn about the core strategy, plus the crystal ball, basically you're getting everything in here. You're getting the core strategy, but you're also going to get the you're going to learn the crystal ball method. That's something that's available. That's a video that is not available online. That's something you and I will once again sit down and go through and make sure you fully understand it. Now, if you decide that you want to go just with the core strategy and learn the crystal ball at some point, I'll just charge you the difference between the core strategy price and then the full price that includes the crystal ball. So I'll just charge you the difference between the two. Okay, so these are designed to basically purchase, learn them, and then go and do your own trading and so forth. Now, if you wish to join me live as I trade live every day, which I highly suggest, because what I do is I also, not only do I share my charts, but I show you where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out, what strike, what price, why I'm doing it, what I'm seeing in the market. It's well worth it, and that's only going to be $50. Okay, so if you want to, once again, if you just want to learn these on your own, you can purchase the package and move on. If you want to learn the package and then also join my live trading room, chat room, then that's just $50 a month, and that's $50 reoccurring as long as you want to stay. There's no time limit, so if you want to stay 2 months, 3 months, a year, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just $50 a month. Okay, so if you're interested, you want to go to binaryprostrategies.com, and in there under Join Now, you're click on that little button. It'll pop up. You'll see this, and you can go ahead and purchase one of these two packages, and or if you're a reoccurring member, you can go ahead and join the monthly if you're not already part of the chat room. So any questions, as always, you can always get a hold of me by going to the website. My phone number's there, email address, and so forth. So if you like to do that, feel free to give me a call. I'll be glad to answer any of your questions before you make a decision. But everything I teach is fully disclosed. I'm not holding anything back. I am here to educate. I'm not a signal provider. That doesn't do you any good by me just giving you my signals. I'm here to teach you how I see the signals, and I want you to learn them as well and be able to identify them as well as I do. And then, this way you are free to trade on your own. You don't need me around all the time. But for those that like to stay in the chat room and trade with us live every day, that's always an option as well. So that's it. Thanks once again for watching my video, and you'll have a great day.